Most brands think lead generation is running a few ads and hoping for the best. But the reality is, if you don't know what to look for or you don't have a plan in place, you're going to suffer and struggle to grow. After generating over 150,000 leads, we've learned quite a bit along the way, and we've identified what actually works and what is just hype and fluff. In this video, I'm gonna break down what we've learned so you can avoid the trial phase and get to results much quicker. My name is Julio. I've helped over 100 companies generate leads using strong and powerful lead generation campaigns and sequences to get results like these. And today, I'm gonna be breaking down the top 7 lessons that we have learned so we can limit your trial phase and get you to results much quicker. Lesson number 1, tracking and measuring is everything. At the end of the day, every form of marketing is an investment. An investment should get you a return. And if we can't measure what return we're getting or we don't know what's happening, we're just burning money. It is crucial that you as a company know where your dollars are going. And if you don't know what results you're getting by having proper tracking tools or a proper structure to just track conversions, you're going to be blindly spending marketing dollars without knowing what you're getting. I've met with plenty of companies that have ran marketing campaigns in the past, only for me to ask them, okay, well, what result did you get? And having them look at me with a blank face, not knowing what to say. You do not want to be in that position. So you want to make sure you have the proper tools in place or the proper structure in place so you know what kind of results you're going to be getting. Lesson number 2, landing pages must be simple. We're paying for traffic. We want to make sure we take care of that traffic. If we're taking this traffic that we're paying for, whether it's $1 a click, $2 a click, $100 a click, we're taking them to a website where there's a lot of moving pieces that the user doesn't know exactly what action to take, we're reducing the likelihood of them even taking an action. It's the paradox of options where there's so many things that I can be doing that I forget why I even showed up. The landing page must have a clear call to action, be relevant to the ad that you showed the user. So when the user lands on this landing page, there's no distractions and they can clearly take the action that you want them to take. You want them to land on this landing page and know exactly what you want them to do. Should they call you, fill out a form, send you a message, and so forth? This landing page needs to be very simple and properly guide the user to take the action. Lesson number 3, the right channel might be different for different industries. What do I mean by that? Well, Meta, Facebook and Instagram is more visual. People are not really there to shop. They're there to consume content. Google is more technical. They already know what they need and they're searching for it. So for example, if you're a window blinds company trying to showcase your beautiful blinds or window treatments, Meta might be a great channel for you because your creative content can really capture the eyes of the people who are a little bit more passive on this channel. You can showcase the blinds, the colors, all that good stuff, maybe transformations. If you're more technical and looking for somebody who's already in market to buy from you, Google might serve your industry better. For example, legal services. Somebody who needs an attorney, they know what kind of attorney they're looking for, so it might be better to reach them when they're already searching for that specific keyword. Legal services, you can't really visually showcasing a legal service is a bit tricky, so Google might serve this attorney better. So if you're in legal space, something that isn't really tangible or visual, Google might be the best bet for you. Lesson number 4, great creative goes a long way. Captivating creative can improve your campaign's performance significantly. If you just showcase a product with no clear call to action and the user doesn't know what action you wanted to take or what you're selling, it's gonna be hard to sell to them. You wanna make sure your ad is visually captivating, has a clear call to action, and showcases your product properly. And you wanna test out videos, images, and different variations of those to see which one works best. Our original ideas don't always do best, and you might be surprised by trying out different creative and images what gets you the best results. So make sure you're constantly testing creative to lower your cost per lead and improve your campaign's performance. Lesson number 5, pick the right KPI. Likes and followers are vanity metrics. Impressions and maybe clicks don't necessarily convert to dollar signs. So you want to make sure that your focus isn't on metrics that don't necessarily correlate to how much money is going into your pocket. What I mean by this is focus on how many leads you're getting, focus on what return you're getting, not so much on what likes you're getting, what's your follower count, how many impressions you got, clicks. At the end of the day, clicks don't really mean anything. For example, I can get you 1,000 clicks, but if those 1,000 clicks are for things completely unrelated to what you're trying to sell, it's wasted traffic. So you want to make sure that the KPI you're looking for is leads and return. How much money is going into your pocket from your campaigns? Don't just focus on metrics like impressions, clicks, views, likes, and follows. Lesson number 6, be realistic of what you're selling. If you're selling something that's worth $100, it's going to be cheaper to sell it over something that's worth $20,000. So every industry has a different cost per click, different cost per lead. If you're selling something that's worth $100, like maybe a mobile grooming service, it's going to be much more affordable than selling something like legal services. A mobile grooming service is $100, maybe the lead in that industry is about $30 to $60. Versus an attorney who is selling something that is $7,000, that lead might be $100, $200 because the value of what they're selling is just much higher. So more people are willing to pay more for that lead. So be realistic and don't be discouraged if your cost per lead is really high for your industry. And of course, I'm not saying that if you're selling something that's of a smaller transaction to let that lead be extremely low or extremely high. Also monitor what the return might be depending on the cost per lead. And lesson number 7 is the follow-up matters. The truth is getting the leads alone won't necessarily close a sale. You need to have a good sales process to close these leads. Yes, it's hard to generate leads sometimes, but you're investing a ton of time and energy into acquiring these leads. So you want to make sure that they're properly being managed. If a lead comes in, is your sales team prepared to answer the phone? Do they have a proper script? Are they going to follow up with this lead? You want to make sure that you create various touch points so when that lead comes in, you can cater to it to eventually close. Similar to be realistic of what you're selling, it might take many more touch points to close a big deal rather than a small one. Attorneys might have to follow up for weeks versus a mobile grooming company that might just need to close and book right then and there. So you want to make sure you have a follow-up process. You're investing in acquiring these leads. Make sure you create multiple touch points after that lead comes in so you maximize the possibility of closing that sale. In reality, to me, generating the lead is 50% of the battle. The other 50% is in the follow-up and in the sales process. So make sure you're prepared to cater to these leads. Using these points, we've helped numerous brands. For example, one brand that was around for about 20 years, heavily on print, and we took them digital with a strong lead acquisition process online, allowing them to have a strong presence online and leading them to sell multiple 7 figures over the last couple of years. But remember, just knowing what works isn't always enough. Execution is everything. And making one wrong move might cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. If you want to make sure your lead generation process is set up properly, click the link below and schedule a free consult with my team, and we'll help you refine and improve your process so you can have a winning lead gen system. Check out the last video I posted, which is what I learned after designing over 1,000 ads on digital campaigns. If you like what you watched, subscribe and like, and stay posted for content that we'll be sharing to help you guys improve your lead gen campaigns and get you the best results. We'll talk soon.